So, is the PPT visible?
Yes, ma'am.
My voice is audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We shall begin now, and if there is any problem, let me know. Okay? Yes. Now, yes. Yes, we saw some of the meaning of strategies. And we also, in the last 10 minutes, what I spoke was regarding how it would be implemented in the organization. Now, briefly, if I have to say, first you have to come up with the plan. Um, then how the plan should be. It should be simple enough, yet challenging, and it should be able to be communicated. It should not include any flowery words, which would be resulting in misunderstanding something. And we also spoke about, I also spoke about normally when we speak of this corporate, it is the work of the CEO that he does all this work, and he has this burden of having this conversation or communicating it to his employees. And once it is being communicated, there is chance that a bit of burden from the head of the CEO might be shared to other employees. But in total, the entire responsibility can never be delegated to others. So that is in brief what we spoke or what I spoke in the last 10 minutes of the earlier session. Now remember this thing, no matter which definition of strategy we spoke of till now, or which definition of strategy one person uses. Now, the decisions called for would be the same. Now, these decisions they pertain to choices between among products or services, the customer and market, the distribution channel that we have, the technologies, policing, and even geographic operations. These are just to name a few, but it actually includes everything. You'll have to decide for everything that happens in the organization, and that is what it actually happens. So, what is required is a structured, a disciplined, and a systematic way of making these decisions. Now, it has to be done such that it should use driving forces, approach in coming up with structure, discipline, and systematic way of making decision. That is the first one we can use. Second one, we can also choose the basis of value discipline, or committing on the basis of value chain analysis is yet another. Okay, now when we speak about driving force, it speaks about the mission and vision. When we speak about value discipline, we speak about corporate strategy. When we speak about value chain analysis, we speak about competitive strategy. Okay? Now, uh, do not get confused. Now, the same word with each different type of management, they tend to speak in different ways. But remember this, that in your entire syllabus of your management, now everything we tend to see in terms of the corporate world, might be your organizational behavior, might be your management, might be your international business environment or your Indian business environment that we have. You see through the eyes of a corporate organization. But then you also have subject like small business environment. There you are being specific for small business environment. So remember these things. The theories which we use under the syllabus of MBA, we try to see it through the eyes of a corporate world. Maybe when we take up a small organization, these things cannot be said in a very deliberate way, or we might not be able to make a clear distinction among all these things, like what is the vision of a petty shop owner, what mission he does. But if we have to put in a paper all those things, then might be we are able to speak about all those things. So remember, everything that we speak through the eyes of a corporate organization. So now I just moved out of the syllabus. Now to speak about this, the decision, we said that whatever it is, whichever definition that you pick, now the decisions that would be made would be the same. So some of the fundamental questions that relates to each of these three are, first one we shall see some of the questions related to mission and vision. Here we would be having questions like, who are we? We represents the business organization. Or what do we do? Why are we here? Or what kind of company are we? Or once after we know what kind of company are we, next one is what kind of company do we want to become? And finally, what kind of company must we become? So all these are nothing but, when you answer this, you come up with the mission and vision. Then we have corporate strategy. Now here it speaks of what is the current strategy. It can be, is it implicit or explicit? Now what assumptions have to, hold for the current strategy so that these strategies are viable in nature. What is happening in larger social and educational environment. Now what is our growth, size and profitability goals. Now in which markets will we compete, in which businesses will we compete, or in which geographical areas. Now if you see, this is all about doing business. The second one is, last one is all about competitive strategy, or gaining a competitive advantage for the organization. That is, uh, once again, what is the current strategy, what are the assumptions have to, what assumptions have to hold for the current strategy. Now what is happening in the industry, especially with our competitors. Now what is our growth size and profitability, what products we would be offering, and to which customers would be offering, whether we would be offering it for users, or how will the selling and buying decisions would be made, how would be the distribution. So these are some of the questions. So in brief, if I have to tell about strategy, remember these words. Strategy is about means. Strategy is about resources. Now it is about the attainment of ends, not their specification. So the specification of end is a matter of stating those future conditions and circumstances towards which effort is to be devoted until the time one has those ends are obtained. So strategy, it is about means, it is about the attainment of ends. That is all strategy is. See, now strategy you can also put like this, you know um, this strategy, uh, it is one element, but it has four different parts. The first one is, what are the ends to be achieved, what is that I want to achieve. Second is come up with the strategies for obtaining these ends or the ways in which resources will be deployed. Third is the tactics or the ways in which resources that have been allotted are actually used or employed. And last is the resources themselves. So that is strategy all about. The four wings. What you want to achieve, how would you achieve, and how would you allocate it, and the resources themselves. So that comes to the question of what corporate strategy is all about. Now, corporate strategy, it can be described as the identification of the purpose of the organization and the plans and the actions to achieve that purpose. I'll repeat it once again if at all somebody needs. Corporate strategy, it can be described as the identification of purpose of the organization and the plans and actions to achieve that purpose. Now, importantly, this particular statement is not only definition. Okay, we will consider an alternative view in the coming sessions. Now, during its early years, if we see, we can give the example of Apple company. Now, Apple's sense of purpose was to provide work for the owners, friends, and immediate employees. But in the later years, the purpose changed as the company grew larger and it was able to seek new customers and broaden its product range. So the purpose became a broader concept that included dividends to independent shareholders beyond its original founders and offering its service to far wider range of customers. Now, in these recent years, if you see, some companies have taken the view they should have a role in the society which goes beyond shareholders, employees, and other immediate members of the company. Yes. Now, if we speak at the general corporate level or at the headquarters level, now these basic decisions there need to be taken over what business the company is in or should be in. Now, the culture and leadership of the organization are also important when it comes to the general corporate or headquarters level. Now, once again, taking the example of Apple, Apple at the time of writing was developing a major new strategic initiative in consumer electronics. Okay, the basic strategic decision to move further into maybe delivering record musics rather than expand in such areas as specialist computing was taken by the corporate headquarters of Apple at that time. However, now Apple computers had gone through a series of reorganization to deliver this strategy. So the new strategy was also related to the leadership and culture of the organization. So corporate level strategy can also be seen when we tell that corporate strategy is the pattern of major objective, purpose, or goals, and as essential policies or plans for achieving those goals, stated in such a way as to define what business the company is in or is to be in and kind of the company it is. So that is the general corporate level business strategy. Now, at the business level, uh, Now, when we speak about the business level, corporate strategies, it is concerned with competing for customers, generating value from the resources, and also underlying principle of the sustainable competitive advantage, especially of those resources over that of the competitors. Now, the strategy of the firm is the match between its internal capacity and its external relationship. Now, it describes how it responds to its suppliers, its customers, its competitors, and the social and economic environment within which it operates. However, now you have to remember that there is no universally agreed definition of strategy, because some strategy writers, such as Campbell, have concentrated on corporate level activity. Now, most strategy writing and research, such as which has been done by Porter, they have concentrated on business level. So, there is no one universally accepted strategy. Now, there is an alternative view of strategy. Okay, some of the strategists, they dispute the approach to strategies that what we discussed in our earlier sessions. So, some writers, to mention writers like Quinn, they emphasize the uncertainty of the future, and they suggested that setting out to identify a single strategy and develop a complete strategic plan may be a fruitless task sometimes. So they say corporate strategy, as being essentially entrepreneurial and dynamic. And they also mention that it has the element of risk. So corporate strategy, it can be described as finding markets, opportunities, experimenting, and developing competitive advantage over time. So the intended purpose of the strategy may not necessarily be realized in practice. So this is where we can clearly, differentiate this particular view from the earlier one. So the three main areas of strategy that we can have is, uh, you know, when we examine the business level, especially that of corporate strategy, and when we focus on the first view, every organization has to manage its strategies in three main areas. That is, first one is the organization's internal resource, second one is the external environment within which the organization operates, and lastly, the organization's ability to add value to what it does. Now, this corporate strategy, now it can be seen as linking process between the management of the organizations and the organization's internal resources and its external relationship with its stakeholders. Now, the organization, it develops these relationships from its ability and resources. Hence, the organization uses its history, skills, resource, knowledge, and various concepts to explore its future actions. So, the first one we shall see, that is resource strategy. Now, the resources of an organization, it includes everything. It is human resource skills, the investment that the organization does, and the capital in every part of the organization. Now, yes, definitely capital, when you write it in terms of accounts, you write capital. How did you get? But when you speak in terms of management, when you're, bringing all this resource, you're using your capital itself. So your capital is something which would be deployed in the every part of the organization. So organizations, when we tell resource of the organization, it includes the human resource, the investments, and also capital in the every part of the organization. So organizations, they need to develop corporate strategies so as to optimize the use of these resources. In particular, it is essential to investigate the sustainable competitive advantage. Okay, so remember this one thing, whenever you speak about corporate strategy, it is all about having a competitive advantage, which would, this competitive advantage, it would allow the organization to survive and prosper against the competition. Now, let us take the example of Apple once again. Now, Apple had the advantages, especially in the production and marketing of its, iPod music player when it launched it, and also with the associated software. Now, it had set the standard for the industry. Now, the company had also invested heavily in branding its product and also in Apple retail stores that sold the products. Now, all this were the part of its resources. Now, speaking about environmental strategy, now whenever you speak environment, it includes every aspect that is external to the organization itself. Now, when you tell everything outside, it is not only the economic and political circumstance, which may vary widely around the world, but also you have competitors, customers, and suppliers who may vary, being aggressive to a greater or lesser degree. Now, customers and competitors are particularly important here. Now, in strategy, the word environment, it does not mean green, pursue the planet issue. Now, though there are important and are included in the definition, but environment is, as we said, that is political, economical, legal, and the other things that we spoke of. So organization, therefore, they need to develop, corporate strategies which are best suited to their strength and weaknesses in relation to the environment in which they operate. Now, continuing with the same example, what happened with Apple was it faced a highly competitive environment for its computers in relation to the American companies such as Dell or Hewlett Packard. Now, in addition, the company had to cope with changing level of economic growth in many markets around the world. Now, all this influenced the decision of its customers to purchase new computers. Now, some of the commentators of this corporate strategy, to name Oshmi, he suggested that a corporate strategy is really, it is actually only needed when an organization faces competition. So, no competitive threat means there is no need for strategy. Now, this view of, Ohmi, it is very narrow view of strategy and also about the environment. Now, even a monopoly without competitors could need a strategy to defend its position. Now, that is to tell, maybe one element of the environment is not there, that is competitors, but the rest are definitely there. You will have to come up with strategies for all this, whether you need it, whether you whether you're not ready to come up with one, because for the survival what is important is ultimately you come up with strategies. Now, with the general move to privatize the nationalized monopolies around the world, corporate strategy may be required for this reason alone itself. Now, equally, if you have a charitable foundation, when it competes for funds from donors and sometimes for the volunteers, which make the wheels of the organization turn, a corporate strategy is no less relevant in such contexts also. Now, people like Mintzberg, they have suggested that the environment is so uncertain, particularly when we speak about global level, that it might be possible to plan a long term, that is, it might be very much impossible to plan a long term corporate strategy. And if at all it is very much necessary, it would always need to be crafted. That is to tell, it has to be built up gradually through a learning process involving experimentation. That is to tell, start a company today, tomorrow you would not be knowing the entire things that you have to do. According to Mintzberg's view, it is a continuous learning process. And as this process becomes more and more, that is when your strategist gets to become better and better. Now, the organization, they may be seeking to add value by operating effectively, but then the ever changing environment offers little or no possibility for the management to plan in advance. So, such commentators argue that unpredictable environments make the task of devising a realistic corporate strategy more than just planning, because strategies have to be devised to cope with difficulties. And the last one that we have to see is adding value, or organization's ability to add value. Now, with this regard, there is a need to explore further the purpose of corporate strategy beyond the requirements of environmental change and the management of resources. So the need is to add value to the suppliers or supplies brought into the organization, and to ensure the organization's long-term survival. Now, an organization must take the supplies it brings in, add value to this through its operation, and then deliver its output to the customer. So, what does this mean? Let us take the example that we were taking. Now, take Apple. It takes the supplies, it buys in. What does it buys in, or what supplies does it take? It takes components, it takes energy, skills, and capital acquired, equipment to name some. Now, later on, after bringing these supplies, then it uses its own resources and expertise to create a product from these supplies, such as it might create a computer or a mobile phone or a iPod, which would be having value. Now, which is higher than the combined value of all these supplies which have been used to make the product. That is where Apple adds value and then passes the product on to its customer. So now I guess you have understood what is adding value is all about. Now you have a Apple iPhone, right? Now consider all the supplies that has been used to make this particular phone, including the raw materials, the time of the employees, the other components, everything. Now, to what price they offer, the combined product or the final product, if you disassemble and if you measure the each value of each of that, it would be far lesser than what value we would be giving it. Now that is how the organization brings in supplies and adds on the value for these supplies. So, the purpose of corporate strategy is to bring about the conditions under which the organization is able to create this vital additional value. So, corporate strategy should also ensure that the organization adopt to the changing circumstance so that it can continue to add value in the future. So, the ways in which value can be added and also enhanced. Now, these are very much crucial to corporate strategy. So, once again, as we said, management is art and science. Even corporate strategy is both art and a science. So, there is no single strategy which can be applied in all the cases. Now, while most organizations would like to build on their skills, they will be influenced by their past experience, the culture they have adopted, and also the constraints what they have to face because of their background, resources, and environment. But then these might be the problems. But remember, never a corporate strategy is without logic or the application of scientific method and the use of evidence. Now, at the end of the process, however, there is a place for the application of business judgment. Now, take the same company, Apple. Now, it took the business judgment to go ahead in producing its early design of iPod music player because the market looked attractive. Now, what was with iPod? You could have stored music, but later it changed its business judgment, or it took the business judgment that its best strategy was to launch the supply of music. So what did it come up with? It come up with iTunes web download. Now, in spite of the initial reluctance of the music companies to agree a deal. So, having said about these three main areas of strategy, corporate strategy, it can be considered as two levels in the organization, the corporate level and the business level. Now, at the corporate level, corporate strategy is the pattern of major objectives, the purpose of the organization, or goals, and the essential policies or plans for achieving these goals. Now, it involves a consideration of what business the company is in or should be in. Now, all the business level, that is corporate strategy, at the business level, the corporate strategy, now it considers with the match between what the internal capacity of the organization is and that of the relationship in the external environment. So remember this. Now, strategy for each of the organization differs and it shall be developed by considering the resources of the organization in relation to the environment. And the main purpose is to add value. And once the value is added, then it is distributed among the stakeholders. Now remember this in particular. Now there are five key elements of strategy, that is principally related to need to add value and offer advantages over competitors, that is sustainability, process, competitive advantage, the exploitation of link between the organization and its environment, and vision. Now, several of these elements may well involve innovative solutions to strategic issues. I shall repeat it once again. There are 5 key elements of strategy, that is sustainability, process, competitive advantage, the exploitation of link between the organization and its environment, and vision. You know what vision is all about. You know the exploitation of linkages between the organization and its environment. You know what is process. We have discussed a lot about process in the first 5 chapters. And now speaking about competitive advantage, what is it? Now it is such a thing where you have edge over your competitors. Or to tell that, now that would be one particular thing which makes you better than all your competitors. Now it might be the smallest thing, but your competitors would never be able to reach you or catch you because of that edge you have over them. And sustainability is what? Sustainability, in very simple words, is continuous growth without compromising anything that has link to the future. That is sustainability all about. Now, these are some of the core areas of corporate strategy. Now, there are 3 core areas as you can see in the slide, that is strategic analysis, strategy development, and strategy implementation. Now, the organization, so let us speak about the first one. Now, the organization, the mission of it, and the objectives, they have to be examined and analyzed. So, corporate strategy provides value for the people involved in the organization. Uh, that is to tell, it provides value to the people or the stakeholders, especially. But it is often the senior managers who develop the view of organization's overall objective in the broadest possible term. Now they conduct an examination of the objectives and the organization's relationship with its environment. Now they will also analyze the resources of the organization. That is all that is included in strategic analysis. Strategy is something which is logic and applicable in nature. So now strategy is much more than that of planning. Okay, earlier we used to tell a company needs to have a plan, but now it is all about strategy. Now, once after you analyze, analyzing is that you know things, what is happening, how will it affect you, and what is that you will have to do so that you can minimize those effects. Now, once after these strategies are analyzed, once after it is finalized, then comes the strategy development. Now, as the word that you can see, all those strategies that we have discussed, they have to be developed and then finally selected. That is to tell, to be successful, the strategy is like to be built on particular skills of the organization and the special relationship that it has or can develop with those outside suppliers, customers, distributors, and even the government. Now, for many organizations, this will mean developing advantage over competitors that are suitable over time. There are usually many options available, and one or more will have to be selected. And finally, we have strategy implementation. That is to tell, the selected options they have to be implemented. Now, there may be major difficulties, in terms of motivation or in terms of the power relationship that is there in the organization, or to have a negotiation with the government, or in regard to acquisition of the company, and many other matters. So, a strategy that cannot be implemented is not worth the paper it is written on it. So it is a viable, so you'll have to develop a viable corporate strategy. What does viable corporate strategy means? Now it should be challenging enough, but yet a achievable one. Otherwise, it is just the waste of time and resource of the organization. Now, if a viable corporate strategy has to be developed for each of these three areas, then there is very much necessary that each of it should be explored carefully. Now, for the purpose of clarity, it is useful to separate the corporate strategy process into these three sequential areas. But it would be wrong, however, to think that the three core areas are, being only sequential. Now, while it is not possible to implement something that it does not exist, many organizations will have some existing relationship with, customers and suppliers that are well developed, and others that have not yet started. Now, even small new companies will want to experiment and negotiate. So, this means that activities in all these three areas might well be simultaneous and implementing some kind of ideas while analyzing and developing others. Now, there are two more concepts. I shall just finish it off for this day and I shall leave you. I'll not give you a break now, but another 10 minutes or 15 minutes I shall finish these two elements, and that is for this day, because we have discussed so many things about strategy. In the next class, we shall see all about its implementation, and hopefully we can finish with the 6th chapter and that of 7th chapter for the next class. Now, before that, uh, look into the slide. Hopefully, the slide is visible. And these are some of the definition of terms which we use in the three core areas of strategy that we spoke of. Now, it is not only in these three core areas, but it is used, you know, in the entire management also. Now, first one is mission statement. Now, see, it defines the business that the organization is in against the values and expectations of the stakeholders. That we already saw. Now, mission statement, objectives, strategies, the plans, and you also know what controlling all above. And the one thing that they have given is reward. That is the result of the successful strategy and adding value to the organization and to the individuals. Now, personal career example is nothing but how you would uh, imply all this in an individual's life. So this particular slide, just go through it when you have time, or take a screenshot of this as of now, and you can understand what it is all about. Yes, the next topic that I was speaking was of the process, content, and context. Okay. Now there are various research which has been done on corporate strategy. Now all this, some of the research have shown that in most situations, corporate strategy is not simply a matter of taking strategic decision and then implementing it. Now it often takes a considerable time to make the decision itself and then another delay before it comes into effect. So there are two reasons for this. First is people are involved. Who are the people? It can be managers, employees, suppliers, and customers. That is to tell, now any of these people, they may choose to apply their own business judgment to choose a corporate strategy. Now they may influence both the initial decision and the subsequent actions that will implement it. Second thing is that the environment may change radically as the strategy is being implemented. So these are the two things which makes to come up with a strategy a very difficult thing and to implement it even more difficult. That is, there are people involved and there are this chance that the environment can change to a level which is unexpected at times. So this will invalidate the chosen strategy and mean that the process of strategy development needs to be started again. So for these reasons, an important distinction needs to be drawn in the strategy development, that is between process, content, and context. Now every strategic decision involves these three elements, which must be considered separately as well together. So it is said that every strategic decision involves context, content, and a process. Now this particular thing, it has been adopted from Pettigrew A and Whip R's book, which was written in 1991, that is called Managing Change for Competitive Success. So what does these three of means? Now context means the environment within which the strategy operates and is developed. Okay, so context is the environment. Now if you take IBM, okay, now for IBM, it had changed severely during 1980s. But why did it change? They had the context that there was fast changing technological development which happened in case of personal computers back then. Okay. The next one is content. So the main actions of the proposed strategy is the content. And what is purpose? Now, how the actions link together or interact with each other as strategy unfolds. Now, that is what process is all about. Now, how the actions of the organization it links together or how it interacts with one another as against of what is changing is nothing but process. So now process is thus the means by which the strategy shall be developed in the organization and also it shall be achieved. So these three elements can be called as the axis of the same three-dimensional cube of corporate strategy decision making. Now, in most corporate strategy situation, the context and content are reasonably clear. Now, it is the way in which strategy is developed and also enacted. The purpose that usually causes the most problem is this. So the process need to be processes need investigation and are vague and exotic because they involve people and rapidly changing environment. So the difficulty is compounded by the problem that during the implementation period, the process can influence the initial strategic decision themselves. So how is the process? That is the linkage in the three core areas. Whatever we discussed until now it has been presented as a unified subject or cohesive subject. So it is important at this point to explain and also to know a fundamental disagreement which exists among the commentators over the way that corporate strategy may be implemented in the organization. Now, these different views on the context, process, and nature of corporate strategy has arisen because of the breadth and complexity of the subject. Now, for the present, the overall distinction it can be summarized as representing two main approaches to the corporate strategy. The one is the perspective approach. The second one is the emergent approach. Now, what is this perspective approach? Now, some commentators they have judged corporate strategy to be essentially a linear and rational process, okay, which starts with where we are now and developing new strategies for the future. Now, that is a perspective strategy. So, a perspective corporate strategy is one whose objective has been defined in advance and whose main elements have been developed before we start with the strategy itself. So, you can say strategic analysis, we do analysis of our environment, resource, vision and objective. You have options, rational selection, finding strategy, route forward, considering. Now, you can observe both the diagrams what has been written is same, but there is a distinction with the fact that when it is perspective approach, strategy implementation is done once after the strategy is developed. Okay, there is no link. But what happens in the emergent approach? Now see the difference in how the diagram has been drawn. You might understand it better. Now, you know what is perspective approach. That is, initially it is a process which starts with where we are, we develop strategies for the future, we implement it. That is perspective approach. What is emergent approach then? Now, this emergent approach, it takes the view that corporate strategy emerges adapting to human needs and continue to develop over time. Okay, that is the basic. That is, corporate strategy emerges adapting to human needs and continue to develop over time. Now, it is evolving, incremental, and continuous, and therefore cannot be easily or usefully summarized in a plan which then requires to be implemented. So what does that mean? That means emergent corporate strategy is a strategy whose final objective is unclear and whose elements are developed during the course of its life as the strategist proceeds along. So the theorists of this approach often argue that long-term perspective strategies are of limited value. Why do they tell this? Because we have said it time and again that the environment is ever changing. So what stands today might not be true tomorrow. Now with this idea behind, what if I plan for the coming 5 years? Will the environment be same? Now, even though I would be able to plan for the next 5 years, will it be useful for my organization? Or will it be just a task that would be done over the paper which might be useful in the coming days? What might actually happen? Okay. How there is a link between or the two different view, that is perspective approach and the emergent approach. In the emergent approach, that was what I was telling, like today's business environment is so dynamic that what we plan for the next 5 years might not be of any use when we reach that fifth year. So this emergent corporate strategy, it is a strategy whose final objective shall always be unclear as that of the perspective one. Now, whose elements are developed during the course of its life as the strategy proceeds. That's why here we have a intersection of strategic development and of strategy implementation. So that implementation happens together along with the development of the strategy. Now there would not be a work where the strategy would be developed first and later on it shall be implemented. The main view of this is that you know this approach, especially the long term perspective strategies, would be of limited use or limited value for any organization. So, the popular view sees the strategic as a planner or a visionary. Now, someone sitting on a pedestal dictating, brilliant strategies for everyone else to implement, while recognizing the importance of thinking ahead and especially of the need for creative vision in this pedantic world. Now, it should also be noted that Mintzberg sees merit in both approaches. Okay, both approaches can make contribution and are not mutually exclusive. That is, in many respects, they can be said to be like the human brain, which has both a rational left side and an emotional right side. Both the sides are needed for the brain to function properly. That is, some strategies have to be developed, later implemented, some should be developed along with the view. I mean, along with the implementation. Now, this is the opinion of Mintzberg. So it can be argued that same is true in the corporate strategy. So a reference is therefore made to both the perspective and emergent approaches. So now this is all about strategy. Now what we did in today's 2 hours